Hi, how are you all doing? Today is not raining. Today we've also actually got blue skies-ish. I don't want to speak out too much because you know what our weather's like. I mean, this week, as you know if you've been following me on Facebook, I have been so down, so miserable. It's nothing really to do with anything to do with me. I don't think so. Although I do suffer from, sad syndrome. I've had my sad light on. Or as my niece calls it, my sado light. And I've been really just so droopy. And I think it's all to do with the weather. It's sort of... I think I said this in my last video. I don't feel depressed, but other people are noticing that I'm really quiet and just not myself, whatever you want to say. But I think actually it's all to do with the weather. So if you could all send me sunshine. I know you all want the rain. I wish you could come and get the rain because I'm fed up. Every morning I wake up and I hear this pitter-patter, pitter-patter. I think, oh gosh, no. It's no wonder I pull the covers back over my head and go away, day, go away. I mean, I know I'm doing it, but I can't stop myself doing it. Anyway, that's enough about me and my miseries. I've been out shopping with my niece this morning, just food shopping. And sometimes she treats me out to my breakfast, which is nice. It gives me, I like to chat to her and we just catch up on the week and everything like that. So, anyway, I was showing my Postman come while I was talking to my niece. And if you remember Karen Kazalistic doing the sort of wasn't really a sponsored video, but she got asked if she would do one by Everything a Fiver, I think it's called, or something like that. And anyway, I've ordered a few things through from them. I got this the other day, today actually, me the other day today. It's a shawl wrap. I think it's quite pretty. It's just a rectangular one. Yes, I know I crochet shawls, but sometimes you want something a bit different, don't you? You don't always want to wear crochet. It's sort of like a square, but you could wear it as a scarf or a wrap or whatever you want to call it. And I also got, oops, to take my shoe off now because I've been breaking them in. My shoes. I am quite light on shoes actually because I don't actually walk anywhere really except in the house. But these are just handy when I'm on my scooter and I don't want to put a shoe on. I find shoes with backs and that very difficult because I'm like balancing, trying to put my foot in and got my shoe horn and then I'm going all around the room like that chasing my shoe. So when the weather gets a bit better, I'll be wearing these backless shoes, yeah. And I also got some really strange boot shoes which I absolutely love. They're sort of, my niece said they were mustard, but they do have a leathery smell, even though they're suede-ette. And my niece said they're mustard, but they look a bit yellow to me. But I do love them. As you can see, they're not really walking shoes. They've got the slimmest, flimsiest sole ever, but as I don't really walk anywhere. Oh, and it's got another set of holes, I've just realised. I wonder why they gave me such long laces. It's got another couple of holes down there. I'll have to relace them. But very nice they are too. So the postman's been good to me today. What he also brought me was, I think I mentioned to you, didn't I, that when my great niece had this thing made for a bolero, made for being Elsa, but she was determined that Elsa was pink, wore pink. Anyway, on Christmas Eve, she then decided that no, Elsa wore blue. But it was a little bit late because Grandma had been making her an outfit because they couldn't buy an outfit for her in Elsa, which was pink. So Grandma made her this pink. made her this pink bolero and everything. And now she decided that Elsa is blue, so she wants a blue Elsa dress, which is quite easy. They can buy one anywhere for that. So I sent away to Purple Linda, a favourite of Charles. Also me as well, because I've ordered from them many times before. Sorry about the squeaky. So this is, it's a little paler than I would have hoped actually, but it's a favourite of, like I said, Charles. It's called Tinsel Chunky, but to be quite honest, there's not an awful lot of tinsel in it. It does shine a little bit, if you can see. It's Kinko Tinsel Chunky. And it's quite long. I have lots of eyelash wool upstairs, lots and lots of it, but of course nothing in pale blue. But I will be able to use the pattern. I'm trying to find one strand so I can show you. That's the one strand of it. But I will be able to use this pattern, as I said, with different colours that I've got upstairs. I bought quite a lot of eyelash yarn from Ice a year ago, 2 years ago, which is in my stash. And I use it a lot when I'm doing the shawls, which are multi-textured. But I bought this pattern. It's a Kinko pattern. I'll take it out of the sleeve so you might be able to see it a bit better. The one that her grandma made for my niece, it was in pink, was that one. So there's also one without sleeves, and which I think might be nicer for the colder weather, is the one with the long sleeves. So I have bought enough for the one with the long sleeves, but I'll have to ask her mummy whether she would prefer short sleeves. I don't know whether she's a kiddie that likes sleeves down, you know, down to her wrists, or whether she's constantly pushing them up. I'll find out. Right, what else have I been doing? Oh, well, yeah. This is just a hat and scarf set, really, basically. It was when I was in, as I told you, I've been off. Got a whisker now, about off everything. But I decided I would make a hat and scarf. This is ice yarn, and it's called, as you can see, it's got a little alpaca on it. And it's 25% alpaca, 50% merino wool, and 25% acrylic. It just says Peru alpaca super bulky, and it's got it's not got much of a yardage. What's it got on it? Is it 50 grams? I think it is. 45 meters or something. There's not much on them, but it's got like white whiskers going all the way through it. I don't know whether you can see or not. At first I started pulling them out because I thought, well, you know, you can see there's long white whiskers. And I kept thinking, where are they coming from? Because, you know, it's not as if Gigi's here or anything. Gigi hasn't really been here really since before Christmas, except for an odd day. So I knew it wasn't Gigi. And I kept thinking, why have I got all these white hairs? And you can literally sort of pull them out. But it must be in the yarn because it's all through the scarf as well. And I'll just have to explain, you know, otherwise when if people buy it, you know, or a person buys it, they might think that they're getting half of a cat or half of a dog here. But in actual fact, it's got absolutely nothing to do with me. It's just, I don't know whether you can see them or not, it's got white hairs everywhere. But it is part of the yarn. But it was just something I was doing while I wasn't really no good on the hoopla, am I? I think I'll leave that down there. While I've been not in the mood for doing much, you know, between. Move that, that's out of the way, I've spoken about that. Also a book came today. I'm determined, as I said, to learn this Tunisian. I have got how-to books and things like that, and I do know how to do the basic stitches, but I've never really sat and given it an awful lot of thought, you know, or spent the time on it doing what I want to do. Anyway, this book arrived today. A lot of it I won't use because a lot of it is Afghans, and I'm just not an Afghan making person because I haven't got the whatever you want to call it, staying power, or whatever you want to call it, to make afghans. But once you get past the afghans, I mean, that one's nice, the flying carpet. I would use that stitch, you know, to do something else, but definitely not an afghan. I'm not in that mood. But there's also like the scarves and shawls in here, which I do like the stitch of that. To me it looks more woven rather than knitted or crochet. It's on the edges, isn't it, of weaving really. So I mean, that's a nice scarf, isn't it, for a guy, or for a woman really, when you change the colours. And you know, I just love the effect of that, which is just so different, isn't it? Like, as you say, it's not like crochet, it's like weaving. And then there's the sort of, the one that's on the front cover. And then there's the entrelac, I call this. They call it mosaic, but I would call it entrelac. Yeah, it's a little string to the bow, isn't it, learning how to do Tunisian, really. And I do like that for my youngest, my great grand niece, or my great niece, yeah. She loves anything to do with a bag. She just loves putting things in bags and pulling things out again. These are just pencil cases and satchels, you know, to go to school with. Woo! She's not quite up to school, she's up to nursery school, I think. They're all just sort of, that's the bigger version of a carry-all. I just want to learn to do how to do the stitch. That's called a Hughes handbag. I think it's referring to the different colours. I just like the sort of, you know, ombre woven effect that you get in with this Tunisian. That's what I do like about it. That's why I want to learn it. So we shall see, we shall see. Sue and I are really going to give it a go this year. As we both said, we're not doing resolutions, we're just doing a goal. A couple of goals, yeah. Anyway, I couldn't pass the magazine rack, could I, without having a look if there was one I didn't have. And this is called Crochet Now. I bought it today. Issue 23, is it? Yes. It has a free gift with it, which is an essential pattern counter. I had one of these in metal years and years ago. My mum used to sell them. And I don't know where it's gone. It can't be anywhere because I've never thrown it away or given it away. So it's got to be somewhere in the house. But I had a metal version of this one. And then it's got how to use your pattern counter on the back. And it's also got a rather lovely pattern. And you know I don't knit or crochet amigurumis. But isn't he sweet? Paddington. I've got a Paddington somewhere in material. I bought one. Wellington's on somewhere. I think my ex-husband bought him for me one time when he'd been up to Scotland sailing. He saw him and fell in love with him and brought him home for me. I think he must be in the loft. I mentioned once before I put all my stuffed animals and toys and everything up into the loft when I was clearing out and trying to sort everywhere, and they've never made it back down yet. I just hope nobody's, no mice or birds or anything took a fancy to them while they're up in the loft. But I might, if I ever did an amigurumi, I would try this Paddington, because he doesn't seem to have any embroidery that I have to do. He's got noses and eyes and stuff like that. I think I would only have to put the mouth in the right place. I might manage that. Can't do faces. Anyway, it's called Stash Busting Ideas That You'll Love. What have we got? What have we got? Return pages. I've just actually ordered that pattern. That one there and that one there. It's the same pattern. It's the third new pattern. It's 8079, so I'll show you that properly when it arrives. That is rather gorgeous, isn't it, if you like things like that. But again, it's not in this magazine. It's a pattern by Janie Crow. Or Jane Crowfoot she's called, but her email is Jamie Crow. It's the Bohemian Blooms Blanket Crochet Along, and it comes in a gorgeous book which is close to 100 pages and enables you to complete one in your own time without the pressure of having parts each week or each month. So if you like that sort of thing, I mean, I think it's very, very lovely, but I'd never make it. I would be bored after about half a dozen squares. I just do not have that kind of willpower, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, that's the book called On the Hook. That's the one I used for this shawl. So it's called On the Hook. I had a real job to find that pattern book, but apparently it's now around and about on different places now. I had to really search about to get it, and I actually bought it from a wool shop. But apparently now it's on Etsy, so you can get one from Etsy. Right. Now those are so cute, but again they're not in the magazine. It's a King Cole pattern. Aren't they cute flowers? If you like doing, I like looking at them. I like them when they're finished, but I don't like doing them. I'd rather crochet a sweater for a 56-inch bust lady than actually make a toy. This one says it's a chunky boat neck jumper. I mean, it's called a stash buster, but you wouldn't really have all these colours in your stash, would you? It says Skagers or Sheep Jeeps or whatever. I get told it's pronounced Shagers, but I don't know whether it is or not. It's a merino soft double knitting. But I suppose you could use other balls of wool, you know, you wouldn't get that same effect, but you would get, if you use just double knit bits and pieces. Because there's like 2 balls of this and 2 balls of that, and I don't know whether they're 50 grams, but they've got 105 metres on the ball. Yeah, it's only using a couple of balls of this and a couple of balls of that, so I suppose if you've got some spare 100 grams of double knitting around, you could make that. It appears to be top down, but I haven't checked. That's Toby the dog. Very brightly coloured Toby the dog. Technicolor's dream jacket. That is very, very cute, but I think only certain children would actually wear that. If you did it in nice subtle colours, or shades of one shade, you know, I could see that done in like shades of creams with a bits of brown or something like that, or even shades of grey. I know it sounds a bit dreary for a child, but I know that my great niece wouldn't wear anything that bold, you know. She wouldn't want those colours, you know, even though she's quite a with-it child for her age. She does pick her own clothes, so she does wear some quite unusual outfits from time to time, you know. That's Andre the Arctic Fox. He's done his super chunky, so, and it's beginner friendly, so I suppose if you wanted to do an amigurumi, he's somewhere you could start, isn't he? This is a lady called Esther, oh, I don't know how you pronounce her last name. Dijkstra. Well, I know the M bit is straw, but Dijkstra. straw. I don't know how you pronounce it, but those are her designs. Pinwheel coaster. I'm not a lover of anything with little raised bits on for a coaster because I always manage to get my cup on an angle or my glass on an angle and tip the whole thing over. But then that's just me, I'm very clumsy. Hearts and Bubbles baby blanket. I mean, I don't knit for my son's grandchildren, but it's not that I don't want to, it's just I never know whether they would wear them or not. But I was up there on Boxing Day and my daughter-in-law said that my granddaughter had paid so much money for this top thing to be made for baby with a hood on. But they'd sewn the hood to the top, there was no like neckband, and so the baby's a bit like that when it's got its hood up. So I said to my son, I said, if she tells me what she wants, and she tells me what colour she wants and what design she wants, I will knit for baby. It's just that I don't want to knit for, you know, things because my taste, not her taste, is it, you know. I mean, I'm pretty safe with my niece on my brother's side because she doesn't mind, you know, she doesn't mind what I knit for her baby, within reason, of course. Well, knit or crochet for the baby. But my son's family, they were grown up when my son married into the family, so I've never, like, got to know their tastes, if you know what I'm saying. So it's more difficult to read people, isn't it? So that's the Trillion cowl. I quite like that. It's done in sock yarn, Malabrigo sock yarn, so it'll be like a 4-ply or a fingering yarn. Quite pretty. When I do sort the garage out, I've got quite a lot of 1s and 2 balls in fine yarn. Flower frames. I had a spate a couple of years ago buying lots of those little tiny balls, you know, that came from China or Hong Kong or wherever they came from. So I've got lots of 1s and 2 balls of little 25 grams, but they're very, very fine. So I shall have to have a look in there one day. Kelly doesn't mind knitting fine, do you, Kelly? You'll have to have a look in my little box. I am determined this year that by hook or by crook, that one or me or anybody of my friends, we're going to get rid of this stash. Please don't ask me to donate. I donate to my friends who then do what they want with it. They are involved with charities, etc, etc. But I'm not being mean. I've paid for it to arrive. I've paid for the yarn. I'm not paying the price of postage to send it to people in the US. Sorry, but no. That's another reason why I don't do giveaways, because it's not the cost of the giving away, it's not the cost of anything, it's the cost of the postage. I mean, the last time I did a giveaway, it cost me near enough £100 because the cost of the postage, everybody's postage was like £12 to £14 to post us the smallest little gifts to the US, and I'd done quite a big giveaway. I think I did about 20 things I gave away because, you know, I had quite a number of subscribers, so I didn't think it was fair to just like have about 3 things to give away when I had so many subscribers to choose from. And but it cost me so much, it kind of just put me off. Right, that's Vintage Sweethearts. So if ever I have another giveaway, I'll probably do something like a pattern, you know, pick a pattern from Ravelry and I'll send it to you because it's a lot cheaper. You know, I have to, like everybody else, I have to balance my budget and make my pension spin round. You know, I might seem as though I buy things, but this is my Christmas spending spree for myself, and it's soon stopping, believe me. It'll then be just like recuperate and get some money back into my account. Control your stash, I think they're talking to me. My stash is completely out of control. I mean, I looked at it at one stage and I thought to myself, I'll do an inventory, I'll list everything down and then I'll know exactly what I've got and it'll stop me buying things and stuff like that. But it's such an overwhelming task. You know, if you started doing a little bit each week, it would take you months to get round my stash. So I just have to do the eyeballing of the stash bit. That's the paint splodge cushion. I have been using up some of my stash. I mean, I had to buy that for my great niece because I just didn't have anything that was, you know, that she wanted in pale blue. That's called Footprints Cowl and Hat. It's done in a double knitting. As I say, I've got to catalogue all my double knits from the garage because I've got one ball of like 100 grams and everything like that. I must get them used up. That's the Rose and Daisy's throw. Yeah, I'm a great one for starting sweaters and things, you know, out of lots of 2 packs of yarn, you know what I'm saying? And then I never use up the odd one that gets left over. Sunburst bath mat. As my mum used to say when we had the wool shop, you never make any profit from what you've bought unless you sell everything, you know. So if I buy, like, say 10 balls of a certain yarn, I wouldn't recoup my money back really until I've used all of the 10 balls. If I make a sweater or something and it uses 8 of the balls and I've got 2 left over, I've got to then think of a hat or something like that really to use the last 2. Otherwise they just go into stash and they get lost and they just languish there forever, don't they? So I'm going to try and make it a sort of a thing of mine if I'm using the yarn. Like, I've got 1 ball left of this, which isn't much, it's only 150 gram ball, but I need to incorporate that in something, otherwise it will just get lost, won't it, into the... I mean, it's super chunky, so there's not even enough to make a pair of mittens, really. It's got to be used up. I mean, the hat took 2 and a bit, well, the hat's gone, 2 and a bit balls, so I'd have to find something else to go with that black to use it up, but I'll get there eventually. This is Roger the Rainbow Stegosaurus. Again, amigurumis, which too many of these books for my mind, but that's my opinion. And that's the Diamond Steps shawl. That's quite a nice one. That one's done in Stylecraft Batik, or Batik, however you want to pronounce it, double knitting. So that's quite a nice one. I could use up oddments. It said it takes 450 gram balls, so that's not a bad one, is it? I could probably rustle up a couple of 100 grams up or something. A Wendy Darling baby blanket. There's actually quite a lot in this book, isn't there? This one's in Peter Pan double knitting. That's Rocky Zebra. Beginner friendly again, he's done in double knitting. We're getting near the end now. Getting near to the end. Yes, we are at the end. Oh, these are not bad. It's usually they're very expensive, the yarns that they portray, but these are all the price-wise ones and the ones that are within, well, UK budgets. You've got the King Cole price-wise, which is doesn't say. Does it say how much it is? No, it just said it's an affordable yarn. They're not going to give you any prices on these, but they are. You know, the Stylecraft Special, James C. Brett Top Value, Hayfield Bonus Double Knit, and Peyton's Fab, and King Cole price-wise. I've used most of these actually. They're very good value yarns. They're not cheap and nasty. They're quite nice. I will say this, for most of our economic yarns in the UK in double knitting, they are quite soft and they are quite nice actually. I don't know why people go this, oh, it's nasty, it's acrylic, it's, oh, it's horrible. It's not, it's lovely. I would love to do like a squish test, a blindfolded squish test with a yarn snob and say, what is this? Would you knit with this? And I think they would be quite pretty amazed. How to read a pattern, which is useful for some people, especially a pattern that's done in all different colours. How to learn the basics. They always have that in every book, don't they? And that's what's in next issue. A little bit oly that scarf, but shawl, whatever. But that's just me. Oh, that's a rainbow caterpillar. It's done all like little balls of crochet. You must string them all together. Anyway, I have been using up stash because this was in my stash. This was the ice. So I've used up almost a pack of that. There was 50 grams I think there was in the pack. Or was there 50 grams? Anyway, I've got one left over, whatever there was. So this one I was making for myself, and it's all lovely and soft and everything like that. Until I looked at it, it's Serdar India. I've had this in stash for ages. I don't think they do it anymore. But when I come to look at it, it's 50% wool and 50%, no, 51% wool, 49% acrylic. It's made by Serdar, and it's beautifully soft to work with. I've actually finished the back of it. It's a super chunky. So it's where we're going now, which is the front, which is the back. That is the back of it. It's done all in half, well, half trebles to me, half double crochets to you if you're in America. And that's what it is. And it's from a book I bought a while back. It's called Learn to Crochet, which my son thought it was really funny I bought this book. Learn to Crochet, Love to Crochet. It's from in there. And I'm making the tweed cardie. That's what I'm making. So we'll see how it goes. It's quite a shorty cardigan. I have actually put 2 extra rows on because I did have, he said it wanted 900 grams and I did have 10 100 grams, so I allowed myself a couple of extra rows. And I also didn't do the shaping because it was meant to be shaped up from the waist. I didn't do that. I sort of chained on, if you know what I mean. You do the ribs sideways. Well, you can tell better on the piece I'm doing, can't you? You do the ribs sideways. Now, I must confess I didn't do it the same way as the pattern, because the pattern was 1 row of double crochet, well, single crochet to you, 1 row of slip stitch, and it just, I don't know, the slip stitch row, I just couldn't, you know, I was like, with my hook in every stitch, and I thought, this is not going to, you know, float my boat at all. So I swapped over and just did the ordinary, my double crochet or single crochet. And then you do the rib sideways like that, and then you pick up and go that way. And then this is where you've got the half treble to me, half double crochet to you. Oh, this dual language, it's confusing me no end. Anyway, it was going to be for me, but depending on whether I can actually wear this, because it's, you know, the wool content in it. It feels nice and soft and it feels lovely, but I do itch. You know, if I get wool on my bare arm or anything, I itch like hell. You know, it prickles and then it itches and it goes bright red. But I'm hoping against hoping that I can wear this, because that'll be 2 packs left out of stash, wouldn't it? Because they were in 50 gram balls and I've got 2 packs of 10. So that will be 2 packs less in my stash, which will be nice. Yay! And I quite like it, even though it's really chunky. I quite like it. I like the yarn, it's just the colours in it, isn't it? Not usually a green person, but I do really like that. I think it's the splodges of the mustardy yellow that I like in it. I know Sue would probably like it. Can't tell you the colour of it because the packet's in the other room. But there's not much point really, unless you can find somebody who's still got some stocks of Sirdar Indy. It's one of my lovely bargains that I got from Kemp's at some stage in my life. You know, I like good yarn, I like good quality yarn, but I'm a pensioner and I just don't have the wherewithal. So I'm not, I'm not afraid of, not ashamed. There's no shame, is there, in not having enough money to buy the expensive yarn. I'm not a yarn snob. If it feels nice, if it feels lovely, I'll use it. I just like using the branded yarns every now and again when I can afford them. If I get them at a reduced rate, sale rate, something like that, I will buy them, yeah. But I don't have the kind of money to go out and spend £3 or £4 on one ball of 50 grams, of yarn. It just isn't economical for me at all. I mean, I can't pass it on to my customers, if anything that goes onto Etsy. I have to think within reason. Everybody's got a limited budget on what they want to spend, haven't they? Hence me and my, everything a fiver for my clothes type of thing, yeah. We just cut our cloth according to our means, otherwise we're very unhappy, aren't we? Just excuse me while I have a drink. Still on the pint mug, still very dry. I do have an appointment with my GP. Finally got an appointment. It's like getting an audience with the Pope, seeing my GP. So I will be, I was supposed to go before Christmas because I did all these blood tests and stuff before Christmas. But I am beginning to wonder if I'm a bit anemic, need a bit of iron in my blood or something. Or it could be my CPAP machine is leaking, it's not. Or it could be just me, because last night I went to bed. Thought I was tired, I went to bed. It'd be about 1 o'clock in the morning. I watched the clock go around to 5 o'clock before I actually fell asleep. And I've been reading these articles where they say, don't keep lying there and you can't sleep, get up and do something and then go back to bed when you feel sleepy. But if I did that, I'd be up all night and then I'd be gone asleep all day. My body clock has gone all awry. And I do think it's all this dark weather. You're thinking it's like night time when it's not. It's about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And you've had to draw the curtains too and you've had to put the light on. And to me that's like, I don't know why when I put the light on and the craft light on and I waken up. Maybe I should sit in there and draw the curtains even if it's daylight and put the craft light on, bright lights. I mean, the SAD light, the SAD light, is supposed to stimulate something in your brain, waken it up or something, but it's not working with me. I can't stare into it because I get like blobs in front of my eyes because it's too bright. So I have it to the side of me, it's just like giving me light and that, but it's not waking my brain up at all. Or maybe it is, and it would be more sleepy if I didn't have the light on at all. All I know is I have to force myself to go to bed because at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'm at my most alert, I'm like, oh yes, I can crochet all night if I want to. And yet logic says you must go to bed, Because the following morning I'm just like a groggy old sloth, I'm like, ugh. But I just cannot get into the going to bed at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the evening and getting up at 8 in the morning. My body clock is upside down. I've tried all the usual, the hot milk, milky drinks, turning off the TV and the PC and everything, having like a stress-free half hour or something. I've tried reading, I've tried listening to music. I'm hoping that one day I'll get my body rhythm back again. I should go for a holiday, but I can't afford it. Plus I've got no passport. So that's on my list of things to do actually, is get a passport. Not because I'm thinking of going anywhere, but I really don't have any form of ID when they want ID. We don't have ID cards, we don't have anything like that in the UK. And I don't have a driver's licence anymore. I let it lapse. I could have reapplied for it when I was 70, but I just thought, what's the point? I haven't got a car. Not likely to get a car. So what's the point of getting a new driver's licence? No point. Then my passport ran out, so they won't accept an out-of-date passport as ID. Don't know, I'm not going to change, am I? Just because it's a couple of years out of date, I'm still me. So I might get use out of a passport. You know, when I win this lottery or when I go on this world cruise. That's on my bucket list, but in other words, I better live a whole lot longer to give me time to save up to do my bucket list. I just hope by the time I have enough money to go on a cruise, I have enough strength left in my leg and my spine to wander around the deck. I'm not altogether bothered about going on a sightseeing tour when I get to these places. I'll quite happily sit on the boat, you know what I mean? But it would be nice if it had a hot tub or a swimming pool and things like that. Then I could get full benefit. Yeah, I just like to be relaxed on the deck, just looking at the sea. With my crochet, of course. Or a book, a good book. That's one time when I do read. I do like a good book when I go on my holidays. I'm quite happy to, you know, be on the sand or whatever, or the rocks if they're comfy enough, you know what I mean, and read. I do like to read. And if the hotel I stay at's got a balcony, I like to sit on the balcony and read, you know, because usually you're overlooking a pool or somewhere nice, aren't you? And I can sit there quite happily with a book for hours. But I was saying to my niece, I think I need to enroll in some kind of audio books, because I do miss reading. I do miss reading books, but I can't do... Gosh, when I was younger I used to watch the TV, read a book and do my knitting. Huh? Now I can't. I have to concentrate on one or the other. I can do my crochet while I watch TV if there's something quite banal on, you know. And but I can't if I'm in watching something in depth, you know, that's a bit more of a documentary, which is what I do like to watch. I have to sort of give a little bit more attention to the screen, you know, there's something going on. I'm not a soap opera fan, I'm not a quiz game person. I don't watch any of those things, you know, like you know, these Big Brother and I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here and that. I don't watch any of those, any of them. But I prefer something a bit more meaty, you know, a bit more, like you say, it doesn't necessarily have to be a documentary, but if it's drama, I prefer something with a bit more beef in it, you know. I'm just so not into Game of Thrones and things like that. It's just not me at all. I'm sorry, Zoe, I don't like Doctor Who. I used to watch it when I was young, but not now. There's not an awful lot I watch really on the TV. I mean, all the things I like the most seem to have fizzled out. You know, they did a series or a run of them and then they don't do them anymore. Still, I'm going to do, I don't know what I'm going to do this afternoon, probably do a bit more of crochet. I really need to do some housework, but that is just not even on my radar at the moment. That's how I know I'm not myself. I mean, I was talking to Kelly on the phone yesterday. Was it yesterday? Day before. And she said, you know, you're just not you, and I can't put my finger on why it's not you. I said, I know what you're talking about. I don't feel like me. I feel more introspective, quieter. Thinking about things rather than doing them. There's probably a word for it, but now I don't use the word depressed. I don't use that word because I've seen plenty of people who've got depression, and I don't count myself as being one of them really. Although my GP says I am, but What does he know? He only sees me now and again. I just call it sad. And I won't be sad as soon as the sun starts to shine. I'm sure lots of you identify with that, don't you, really? When I wake up now and look out the door and it's grey and it's wet and it's dismal, and I think, oh no, here we go again. I hate this weather. But yet once I start to wake up and the sun shines, it doesn't matter then if it rains, so long as I've had some sun. Which sadly, I know you always say this, you remember when you were a child and the sun always was shining and you were always playing outdoors. Probably our memories just turn things into that, but I can honestly remember. I can remember rainy days, sure, but I don't remember there being as many of them. We used to have rain or sun. We didn't have this drizzle, what I call drizzle. It's raining, but it's not raining properly, you know? I just wish it would rain properly and then get it over with and stop. But it's just this constant like mist coming down the whole time that's rain, wet, damp, dismal. If you ever see the paintings of Lowry, you know, that kind of weather. I mean, Lowry, I don't think he ever painted any sunny days, did he? But Manchester is certainly living up to its reputation this last few months, really. I'm going to start a campaign. I want sunshine. I want some sun. So all of you who've got lots and lots of sunshine that you saying, I want some rain, please, can we do a swap? We can do a swap. I can quite happily send you some of this drizzly rain. If I could turn the camera down, I'm looking out the window now, and it's probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and to me it looks like it's 8 o'clock at night because it's so dark, dreary, wet, miserable. God, I am on a downer today, aren't I? Anyway, my son's coming tomorrow. I think I told you that he bought me a new phone. Well, they bought me a new phone. I always say he, it sounds like his wife has nothing to do with it, doesn't he? But you know what I mean. They bought me a new phone at Christmas, and it didn't have enough memory or something. I'm not technical, you can tell, can't you? So today I got some new memory for it, so then he can put me on different programs or whatever WhatsApp is. I have no idea, but apparently I need to be on WhatsApp. Will I use WhatsApp? I have no idea. I've never even come to terms with Instagram because I don't take photographs of anything I see, you know. This is me, this is a selfie. This is me. I mean, I might do, because I've got a camera now on this phone. So I might actually take more photos when I remember that my phone has a camera. I don't know how to work anything. Zoe 24 Carat Crochet, she knows all about these. Kelly, I'm yarn inspired, she knows all about these things. Me, I don't know about these things. I can tell you about things that happened in 1950, 1960, when most of them weren't born then, but I'm old school. Definitely old school. I'm feeling older by the day. I never had bags under the eyes. I had crinkles, I had wrinkles, I had whatever. But I'm slowly getting bags under my eyes, which is... I don't drink tea, so I can't put tea bags under my eyes. Maybe I should get cucumber or something. I've got eye serum and stuff like that, which I do put on, but they don't work like they do in the movies, you know. When you see these adverts, put this on, it will get rid of all your wrinkles. No, it doesn't. It might blur them a little bit, but it doesn't get rid of anything. False advertising, You know, they should have to live up to their claims, don't they?